Okay. All right. Well, hello everybody. I really wish I was there with you today. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, good, good. Um, yeah, I miss you and I wish I was there, but thankfully we have this technology and we can meet together virtually. So it's exciting. So welcome to this presentation. We're going to talk about programs to pursue before you graduate today. We're going to go through several different flexible pathways opportunities that are available to you and hopefully explain them in depth and answer any questions that you might have. So we'll get started. I'm Amy Dodge, and I'm the post-secondary programs coordinator for the Vermont Agency of Education, and I work in the Student Pathways Division. Primarily, I do all my work around dual enrollment, early college, fast forward, and flexible pathway organization with the dual enrollment system, legislative updates, a little bit of everything in the way of flexible pathways. Today on the agenda, we're going to talk about what flexible pathways are. We're going to talk about the Flexible Pathways Toolkit, and those handouts that you were given on your way in, those are all part of the Flexible Pathways Toolkit, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. We're going to talk about college in high school. We're going to talk about careers in high school, and we're going to talk about expanded learning in high school today. So that is our agenda. Can I just quickly, as an introduction for you all, can I get a hand, raised hands for those of you that are students in the room today? Okay, we got a good handful of students. And parents? Nice, glad to see you here today supporting your students. School counselors? Oh, so we got parents and students. That's good. Good to know who's in the room and who I'm working with today. All right, so let's start off with an overview. So a quick overview. There's legislation, it's called Act 77 or the Flexible Pathways Initiative. That's what brings you all these programs. This initiative was created to increase engagement, encourage post-secondary continuation, and promote college and career awareness and exploration. There's multiple types of flexible pathways, and we'll discuss 6 of them today. And you have the talking points for those 6 pathways in your hands, hopefully. So this legislation also stipulates that all students in grades 7 through 12 have a personalized learning plan. These plans come by many different names in many different schools. It's a local decision, so you may not know what a personalized learning plan is, but students have plans and they do call them different things. So a personalized learning plan is an educational approach that aims to customize learning for each student's strengths, needs, skills, and interest. Each student creates a learning plan that's based on what they know and how they learn best. So a personalized learning plan is designed to help students understand their interests and goals, which is really important to, knowing these interests and goals when you're getting ready to explore all these different flexible pathways that we're going to talk about today. Now, these are the programs, the pathways we're going to talk about today. So flexible pathways are the definition are high quality expanded learning opportunities, including academic and experiential components, which result in participants obtaining proficiency through experiences outside of the traditional classroom setting. Flexible pathways allow students to apply their knowledge and skills to tasks of personal interest as part of personalizing their path through school. So we're going to talk about careers in high school, so career technical education, work-based learning, expanded learning in high school, such as virtual and blended learning and expanded learning opportunities, and then college in high school, dual enrollment and fast forward. We'll go through and give you definitions of those as we go through the presentation, in the early college program. All right, and you have talking points on all of those, and you have a couple checklists for the dual enrollment and early college programs. Okay, as I mentioned, we have the Flexible Pathways Toolkit. You can find the Flexible Pathways Toolkit on the Agency of Education's webpage. If you go into your web browser and put in Vermont Flexible Pathways, you'll be, the first link will come up to the Agency of Education's Flexible Pathways page. And there's a link to this toolkit. In the toolkit, along with the checklist and the universal samples that I shared with you today, there's student consideration guides and tools, and also local level student considerations guides and tools. So the local level tools are primarily used by the school as like a rubric on how to address proficiencies when they're addressing each student's work in the flexible pathway that they're exploring or they're working in. And then the student consideration tool is really helpful to help students get prepared and see if that flexible pathway is the flexible pathway that they should really be exploring. So it's a great way you can go through step by step and ask all those questions that you might not even know. We can talk in these presentations all day, but these tools here really have all the information. They ask all the right questions. So don't hesitate to take a look at that toolkit. So talking points help students, schools, and families. It's important families get involved and look through these. Have conversations, have those real conversations about each flexible pathways. So it's a pretty exciting new thing that we have on our webpage. So I highly recommend that you check that out because it's going to cover a lot more than I can tell you today in this presentation. And I'm going to talk for a while, but I'm going to have plenty of time for questions. And if you come up with something, just save it and I'll get to the question slide and we can work on those. So in this part of the presentation, this section of the presentation, we'll cover the who, what, when, where, and how of various college and high school offerings. And there's links in this presentation, and this presentation will be shared with you after. For those of you who are joining us virtually today, I haven't even said hello to you. Hello, my virtual friends. Glad you're with us today. But you'll have all these links afterwards to support you in diving into these further. Okay, so why college and high school? College and high school offerings are excellent options for a number of reasons. Students can explore the world of college prior to high school graduation. So you get a good taste of what college is before you graduate. You can earn high school and college credits for these courses that you take. So that's why they call them dual enrollment courses, is because you get dual credit, you can have credit for your high school graduation and college. They helps you move closer to your post-secondary goals. So it gives you a little jump start on your post-secondary goals. And it makes it more affordable. These courses that we're going to talk about today are free. So you can participate in these. They're tuition free. Sorry, you can participate in these courses tuition free. Students need to pay for textbooks, fees, and that, but through these programs, your tuition is covered. All right, now let's get specific. Let's start talking about dual enrollment. Dual enrollment is a program for Vermont students in grades 11 and 12. So every eligible student, and we do have eligibility requirements, and those are outlined in the dual enrollment manual that's linked to this presentation. They need to be Vermont residents. They need to have completed grade 10. So you have to complete grade 10. So if you're finishing 10th grade, you could take a course over the summer after your school year ends. And it needs to be before you receive a high school diploma. So you have to complete your dual enrollment course prior to graduation. You need to be publicly funded. So if you're attending a private school and your sending school district is paying for your tuition, you would be eligible for the program, or a home study student. Home study students apply and the Agency of Education would be an approver for both accounts and vouchers. We'll talk a little bit more about that. See if I'm missing, looking at my notes. Highly recommend you reach out to your school counselor and start having conversations about dual enrollment, about any of these programs. They're your go-to. Your school counselor, some schools have flexible pathway coordinators, work-based learning coordinators. These are your people, and you should start making these connections, parents too. All right, so I just talked a little bit about the dual enrollment system. So this is where students request vouchers to receive the free tuition for these courses. So the dual enrollment system website is located on the agency's dual enrollment webpage. So again, you go to any browser and type in Vermont dual enrollment, and our dual enrollment page will be one of the top searches in that. You can, once you get on the dual enrollment page, you would click on apply for a voucher. There's a little ticket at the top of the page. You can click on that, and that's going to bring you directly to the dual enrollment site. And there's a little snapshot here. I don't know if my pointer points at it and you can see it, but the ed plan, that's where you'll log in. And where I've highlighted here, request a student account. So you'd first request your account. There are step-by-step instructions on how to do this. We have it all outlined on that dual enrollment site. You can log onto the dual enrollment site. There's guides on how to apply, how to request an account and how to apply for vouchers. There's videos, there's FAQs, there's lots and lots of information on the dual enrollment site to support you. And there's contact information. So if that doesn't come easy to you, if there's things that you're missing, there's people there to support you, as well as your school counselors. All school counselors are well versed with the dual enrollment system. So a brief overview of using the site consists, you need to request an account, and you can there's 3 programs that now work through this dual enrollment site. So you can request vouchers for dual enrollment, early college, and fast forward. We'll talk about fast forward and early college in the next slides, but you can request vouchers for all 3 programs on the dual enrollment site. You would then complete household information and profile information, and you would request a voucher for whichever program that you're requesting a voucher for. You need to have whatever course you're going to take needs to be outlined in your personalized learning plan. And you work on your personalized learning plan with, well, every school is different, but often it's your school counselor can help you with this when it pertains to flexible pathways. But like I said, every school does it a little bit differently. But your go-to person is your school counselor. They can tell you who you should connect with to get this into your personalized learning plan. Let's see. Oh, don't leave out your college advisor. So if you're thinking about taking a dual enrollment course, my first suggestion is to contact the college, which there's 9 of them. There's 9 colleges that participate in the Vermont dual enrollment program. You can find all of those colleges and the contact information, again, on the dual enrollment site. First step would be to connect with them and learn the process. Like, what do you have to do to become a college student? You're gonna have to apply to the college. You're gonna have to do their paperwork. They'll support you with what course you're ready for by doing different, they review your transcript, they could have you do the AccuPlacer, but they're your support system along with your school counselor with selecting the right course for you. All right, now for questions. Do we have any questions about dual enrollment?
Amy, could you speak to the book stipend for dual enrollment?
Certainly. Yeah. So when you're requesting a voucher, part of it, you have to answer a question if you receive free and reduced lunch, or if you have received free and reduced lunch, and if you're going to incur out-of-pocket expenses. So if those 2 factors, those 2 questions are a yes, then you would be eligible for a textbook stipend from the Vermont Student Assistance Corporation, our host today. The stipend is $150, and that stipend is sent directly to your home. So the process starts with when you request a voucher, then your school counselor will approve your voucher and will approve the stipend as well at the same time. Did that answer the question, or is there further explanation needed?
Yes, that's great. We have one more question here.
Okay.
Hi, thank you for having this session. We are in a dual state school district, and the high school is actually physically in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Can the students participate in the dual enrollment in New Hampshire as well as Vermont? Or does it need to just be in one state?
What high school?
We've Hanover High, we physically live in Vermont.
Okay, for Hanover, Hanover's, if you live in Norwich, Vermont and attend Hanover High School, you would be eligible for dual enrollment.
From Vermont as well as New Hampshire?
No, it would be the 9 schools that are part of our program, and those schools are all in Vermont. Those colleges, those institutions.
So, okay, that's good. So that would be for extracurricular beyond the high school? Because in the high school, they are in dual enrollment within the high school courses
Yeah,
in New Hampshire.
Okay, so those are probably funded differently than what we're talking about. So dual enrollment I'm so glad you brought this up. So your school is doing, I'm assuming they're concurrent courses, that's what we call courses that happen within the high school. And those can be funded by by the high school or by parents, or by the students. The options I'm talking about right now are the ones that are the free ones from the state. So there are different ways to receive college and high school as far as payment goes. So I'm assuming with Hanover that they're probably paying for those courses, and they could be from New Hampshire colleges, and students are they can get those credits from anywhere. That there's no limit to that, no limit to where they live if the high school's offering them. Does that
So
make
I would
sense?
definitely check in with the school because I know some of the schools I've worked at, you do need to use a voucher even for courses that are being led by a high school teacher who's also, a college professor essentially. And students,
Right.
it's dependent, case by case. So I would definitely check in and see if you need to use a voucher or not for that.
Yeah, they will, so if I don't think Hanover High School doesn't have a Vermont instructor, one of our 9 schools doing a concurrent course with them right now, but several high schools in Vermont do offer concurrent courses that are taught by a high school faculty member who is dually also a faculty member with one of our colleges. And yes, and perfect, ask your school, because sometimes the schools pay the tuition for those concurrent courses, and sometimes they do use vouchers for the courses. Any other dual enrollment questions? And always remember, if you have my contact information on this slide. If you think of something afterwards or you'd like me to clarify further, I'm always happy to do that. You just need to pop us an email and we'll get back to you. All right, I think I'm going to move on. All right, so we talked about fast forward a little bit, or at least mention the word. So now I'll give you a little bit of more detail on that. Fast forward is similar to dual enrollment, and it's available to 10th grade students and 11th and 12th grade students in certain career and technical education programs. And it's not, let me specify, it's not all 10th grade, it's some 10th grade students, 11th and 12th grade students in career and technical education programs. So these courses are taught at a taught by a CTE instructor, similar to what I was just discussing about concurrent classes. But these are in a CTE center taught by a CTE instructor who holds adjunct faculty status at either Vermont State University or the Community College of Vermont. So eligible students can take up to 2 courses per semester, and in some situations, more than 2 courses per semester while they're enrolled in a CTE program. They can also take dual enrollment courses at the same time. So dual enrollment, I didn't mention this before, and I apologize for that. All students are eligible for 2 dual enrollment vouchers, tuition free. Maybe I did, but anyway, just to reiterate. So you could take those 2 dual enrollment courses at the same time that you're participating in your fast forward courses. If that, have a good discussion with your counselor about that before, but the option is available to you. In addition, each year CCV offers several online fast forward courses that are also open to students who are in CTE programs in our state. To learn more about your fast forward and CTE and dual enrollment, you should reach out to your school counselor, which I always say, or the CTE center that you're interested in participating in. You also, to request vouchers to take the fast forward courses, use the dual enrollment system, just like you do for dual enrollment courses. So you would go on, you would request an account, you'd have your account approved by your sending school. So sending schools always approve the accounts, so that'd be sending school counselors approve the accounts. But in CTE, the vouchers that you request for fast forward, those are approved by your CTE center. Okay, a little bit more about the system. The process for using the dual enrollment system for fast forward courses is like the steps described earlier. When selecting your program in the profile section, as well as your voucher, you'll choose fast forward and provide additional information about your technical center. Sending schools approve the accounts and CTE centers approve the vouchers. Okay, now early college. The big full-time year of attaining college credits. Where am I? Early college is an option for students who want their entire senior year to be a full-time college experience. And full-time is described as participating in 4 to 5 courses per semester. And when you apply for early college, you should plan on attending both in the fall and the spring. So it's a commitment of full-time courses for 2 full semesters, and that's a full year in college. Students apply for this program in their 11th grade year, and they entirely unenroll from their high school or home study program just prior to beginning their early college experience to attend college full-time. So you would unenroll from your high school at the beginning of your senior year. While planning, you should start planning in 11th grade or way in advance. It's a good thing to talk about now, even if it's a few years before you're going to be a senior, but plan ahead. The application and approval process takes place during your 11th grade year. And you're going to want to check with the specific college that you're interested in participating with about their application deadlines. And currently there's 3 colleges participating in Vermont Early College. That's the Vermont State University, Community College of Vermont, and Norwich University. So those are the 3 options for early college in Vermont. We also, I'm going to talk about this now in case you have a little bit of time before you think about early college. We recommend that students take at least 1 dual enrollment course in preparation for early college. It's to have that in front of you, to have a good idea about what college expectations are, is a very helpful thing to have before you jump into a full-time program. Then upon completing the year, you finished the fall semester, you finished the spring semester, you re-enroll in your high school, and you then receive your diploma and you participate in graduation. You discuss this with your counselor, but you work closely with your school throughout this program, because just like dual enrollment, these credits are not only for college, but they're also for your high school. So you want to, your school counselor will connect with your college counselor. You'll connect with both of them, and you're going to participate in courses that are going to meet your graduation requirements. So this plan is in place for you. Use your personalized learning plan. At the end of the program, you've met all your graduation requirements and you come out with a full year of college. Okay, now a timeline. This covers everything we just talked about with college and high school. We're going to talk about dual enrollment, early college, fast forward. Where's in my notes here? So just an overview of when students have access to college and high school. So post-secondary planning, career awareness, and learning about college should be part of the personalized learning plan, and it should really start in the younger grades. In this timeline, we start with 7th grade. I'm pro starting even before that, but having these conversations early and asking the questions and doing a little research can really support you with your future plans after high school. Also at the bottom of this timeline, you'll see, we haven't talked about this yet, Intro to College and Careers. This is a free course that CCV offers. And this course is a preparatory course that really gives you the ins and outs of what a college course is like. So in an ideal world, you'd take this CCV Introduction to College and Careers course, then you'd take a dual enrollment course, and then you do early college, if any of those interest you. They call it ICC. So ICC is free. It is not for college credit, but you do have to apply to the college and become a college student in order to participate in the program. And they do a lot of career work as well as college expectation work. So highly recommended. If you haven't taken that, they do offer it online, and in some of their centers, they do offer it in person. All right. Do we have any questions about Fast Forward and CTE programs and receiving college credits in this environment? Oh, and early college.
I was just wondering if that college and careers program would be offered in the summer. I've looked online before, and it traditionally has not been, but it looks like that could possibly be an option.
I haven't, I haven't looked. They have offered it online in the summertime. So CCV's website, if you type in CCV, I am a high school student, they have a whole section on their webpage for resources for high school students. I'm going to look after this presentation. See, I can't imagine that they wouldn't have an online version over the summertime.
I have a question, Amy. Is there, other than the VAST early college program, is Vermont State University doing other early college programs?
They are, yeah. So they have VAST this year. They're going to have VAST next year, but they also offer traditional early college, just like CCV does in Norwich. For any of the other locations, Castleton, Johnson, Linden, and Randolph. So you can participate in early college at the Randolph location, or VAST at the Randolph location. And I think VAST is also at the Williston location for VTSU.
I know I have a lot of students who are concerned about missing their senior year, just like socially, I guess. And I have worked with students who have done, online CCV, early college programs, and are still active at their high schools. They go to their high schools, they can do clubs, they can do all the prom, activities, and even play on sports teams. So if that's something that you're feeling like would be, help you to decide. Because I know it can be a sacrifice to let go of some of those things, but you don't have to let go of them all, especially if you're doing it online.
Right. If your schedules match up, extracurricular activities and those things are all available to you. Yeah. And you'll see that's like the early college checklist that I hand out. That's like one of the questions, like, can I still participate? But it's something you need to think about, because even if they're online courses, when you're taking a college level course, that's 10 hours of your week that you need to dedicate to that course. That means the time you spend either in person in the course or online in the course, and the time you spend completing the assignments for the course. So you should really be prepared for both, for all of these college and high school options, to spend at least 10 hours per course. So if you're in early college and you're taking, because you can take 4 to 5 courses, if you're taking 5 courses, that's more than a full-time job. That's a lot of work. Time management is really important. And you never know if you're doing in-person ones, if it's, the timing is going to work, if you want to play soccer and you need to be, so those are all things you do need to think about, is that big time management piece.
Sorry, one last thing. I have many students who will take their dual enrollment classes in the summer because they have such a heavy course load, especially junior year. Sometimes senior year you have more flexibility, but that seems to work for students. They don't have sports, they don't have school in the summer, maybe they have a job, but they might, between their junior and senior year, use their 2 dual enrollment classes for an online course, 2 online courses in the summer.
Yeah, or in person.
Or in person.
Lots of in-person options in the summer too. Students also use their dual enrollment vouchers to participate in GIV, Governor's Institute programs. Some of those programs offer college credit, and you can use your vouchers to participate in those courses. And the GIV program will let you know which courses those are, and those happen over the summertime. So that's kind of exciting. Yeah, and ideally, if you could take one, kind of spread them out, so you're not doing 2 in one semester. When it comes to dual enrollment, is a good strategy. Start with one. That's not, some students are ready to take 2, but just think about that time commitment. Also, I didn't say this before, but you cannot use dual enrollment vouchers while you're in early college. So if you want to use your dual enrollment vouchers and you're thinking about early college, you should use your vouchers before early college. And I mean, if you participate in CTE and there's a lot of options to get college credits for free before you graduate.
Amy, I went ahead and looked up ICC summer course, and it looks like there's an online one running this spring, but there isn't information yet for this summer.
Okay, I wonder if they don't have it out yet. That's a great question. And if they don't, I know who to talk to. I'll let them know. Someone was asking about that. Thank you. All right, I'm going to skip on to our next category. Now we're going to talk about careers in high school. So we've talked about all the ways to expand your learning when it comes to getting college credits. Now let's talk about careers. We're going to touch base on the why this might benefit you, the timeline for your involvement, and then give you some details about CTE. We talked about that with the Fast Forward program, but we'll talk a little bit more about CT, career technical education and work-based learning. Okay, so why careers in high school? The benefits of this flexible pathway program is that it gives you experience in education around the world of work. Like, what is work life? And you get to learn this while you're in high school. In these programs, you're going to gain skills, technical knowledge, academic foundations, and real-world experiences. So you're out there in the real world of work that are going to help prepare you for high-skill, high-demand, and high-wage careers. So you're exploring careers. You'll be able to participate in programs that meet the ever-changing needs of learners and employers. You're out there learning the new things. And you can earn meaningful credentials while you're doing it. While you're in a career technical education program, you can earn meaningful credentials, similar to earning college credit. You can participate in work-based learning experience in like real work-based learning experience, but also virtual. They have online learning experience. They have simulated work environments. That all kind of expose you to those post-secondary options that are, I say post-secondary, post-high school options. All right, now we're going to talk more specifically about CTE. Did you know that career and technical education centers provide opportunities for students to earn, we talked about this a second ago, industry recognized credentials? You can get the college credits through the Fast Forward program, and you can have paid work-based learning experience. So students apply for CTE Center in their sophomore year. Some begin in their sophomore year with like a pre-CTE program, but commonly in your sophomore year, you apply and you attend in grades 11 and 12. There are 15 CTE center service areas around Vermont. Now, I haven't really asked this, and I should have started earlier. Has anybody in the room participated in or attended a CTE center? Do a poll if you did, raise your hand. No? Has anybody visited or thought about a CTE center? No? How about dual enrollment? Has anybody in the room either talked to their student about dual enrollment or participated in dual enrollment? Got one hand, I think I see. Nice. How about early college? Has there been any conversations about early college? One hand. Oh, this is a good crowd. You guys are learning a lot today. Awesome. Okay, go on and talk a little bit more about CTE. So here's all these programs. So in the 15 service areas throughout Vermont, CTE centers offer more than 17 different programs. But please note, these programs are not available at every center. So not every center offers all of these different programs. But what's really cool about this, an aspect of this, is that if the CTE center near you does not offer a program that you're interested in, you can attend another center that it does offer. However, there, transportation and such is up to you, because most schools don't offer transportation to more than one CTE center. But if you could do it, you could attend a different center. So these are all the different programs. Okie dokie, and now we're going to talk about work-based learning, the who, what, why, and where of work-based learning. So there's a range of work-based learning opportunities available around the state. Most schools have a work-based learning coordinator at their school. If you have one and you're thinking about it, and I would highly recommend connecting with them. These programs are designed to apply classroom learning in the real world setting. So classroom learning in the real world. That's what work-based learning is about. Work-based learning includes job shadows. This is some of what the work-based learning has a pretty broad range of things, but job shadows, internships, and paid work experiences. So reach out to your work-based learning coordinator to learn more about these opportunities at your school. And we'll, as we did with the other programs, we're also going to talk about career in high school offering timelines. The timeline can help you see what CTE or work-based learning experience can look like as you move through from middle school into high school and move from 10th to 11th grade and your senior year. One of the reasons we want to highlight these timelines is that some flexible pathways have an application process, like early college has an application process that needs to happen in the year before you participate. So you need to plan ahead. For example, you can see here that to take advantage of CTE programs, you should apply in the spring before you want to start the program. So, and you'll see in this timeline a pre-tech program for students in grades 7 through 10. This is a really great option. However, it's not available in every CTE center. Okay, and now for questions about careers in high school. And I don't know what our timing is, Jessica. Were we done at 4:10? Is that accurate, or am I out of time?
Excuse me, 4:05.
Oh, goodness, I only have a few minutes.
We started a little bit late, but we do have a question for you.
Okay.
Just wondering the locations in northern Vermont.
For all the locations, you can find a map. Again, if you type in Vermont CTE centers, first line will pop up on your search will be that it will be a map for you to see all the different centers. And then you can click on those centers and it'll give you a drop down of the different programs that they offer. Well, it'll give you their webpage so you can go in and see the different programs that they offer. I can add that to this. I can add the link because I don't think I have that link on this presentation, but I'll add that so that you can have that link to look it up.
And I think that's it for questions, Amy.
And then our last category, expanded learning in high school. So in this section, we're going to cover the who, what, when, where, and why of expanded learning. You can view college and career and high school as forms of you can view college and career and high school as forms of expanded learning. But this is going to talk to you about VT. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about VTVLC and other programs such as the virtual high school and BYU online. So these are all virtual learning opportunities that are also available to you while you're in high school. All right, so why expanded learning? Expanding learning is learning that is delivered through a web-based platform that employs a variety of digital tools, content, and supports, and allows for students' choice around time, place, path, and/or pace. This is important for a lot of students to be able to have this flexibility to really to manage their own time and their own experience. So this web-based opportunity gives you that freedom. This can facilitate both individual and collective learning. So some of your learning is individual, but others collective with a group. It can occur synchronously or asynchronously. There, I said it right. I always have stumble on that word. But so you can be by yourself. You can be with a group virtually. Here we'll talk specifically about VTVLC. These offerings are offered at most high schools in Vermont. Some of them are free. You can also as a family participate. If your school doesn't have any offerings, you can participate in this as well. VTVLC has various types of programming, some of which are even accessible for elementary grades. So there's some options for even the younger grades at VTVLC. Today, we're going to focus on the traditional enrollment programs that allow students to enroll in online courses during the fall and spring semesters as part of their daily schedule while in their high school. Courses are facilitated by Vermont licensed educators, and courses range from Algebra 1 to AP Calculus, from the Beatles as literature to AP Literature and Comp. So there's a wide variety of courses that are to interest our students, as well as a host of languages. So they do a lot of different language courses. Has anybody taken a VTVLC course in the room or looked into VTVLC? No. And to end our program, we'll talk about the timeline, just like we did with the rest. VTVLC has offerings as early as 7th grade and as late as your senior year. And we'll go on to some questions again. That was rather brief, but. And then before we leave, I'll skip over to our resources page. So here's links to all the different things that we talked about today that you can take with you. And then as I just see people, I know you tight schedule today. Here's my contact information. And I love questions, and don't hesitate to pop me an email if you think of something after you leave here today. I'd be happy to support you with anything or point you in the right direction. Do you have any other questions? We got a little bit of time left. Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming today. I hope you have a nice rest of the weekend. Stay warm and enjoy researching all these different options. Jessica, thank you for supporting me.
Bye, Amy. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Let's connect when I get back.
Have a great Saturday.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for being there. I know this is a long day. I remember.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Amy.
Bye-bye.